Jesus.
Yeah. Look, so are nothing. God.
A lot of people have fun with it. The injuries are unfortunate though. Like I know a lot of people are struggling. Me personally, I mean, I had Aaron Rodgers down first drive of the season. My first round pick has been injured for pretty much every game. Um, it's just tough sledding in the fantasy league. I like you pick a new team every week. That's what I play a lot of. Like the fantasy stuff. I like that stuff better personally, but I like you pick a new team every week.
Hey, my stream's up. We're live.
Yep,
Oh,
it
we're
is. I
live.
got it now. Yep, we're live. Yep, guys. I
We
just
there?
got to get people to come over to the stream. I'm getting ready to post a.
Yep.
I'm getting ready to post.
I'm going to post a link over here. So
Yep,
there's that.
yeah, that's what I was going to do.
That event is over. Chat's no longer available. Okay. Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's a bummer too. It is a bummer. Well, we're just gonna have to go with it.
We'll figure it out. YouTube notified me.
If Dylan's talking, you can't hear him.
No, I'm not talking.
Oh, I got my volume down. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I turned my volume down, so you know.
Well, we're live. We just need some people to come back, and I have no idea what happened. I've never had that happen before.
You see John, and then you see about three of you, but not
I'm
me.
just sort them out real quick. Is it a lot?
Yeah, we've got a few
Did you
people
guys
coming back.
notice that? Did you notice
Where's
Old
the
Bay
keys at?
Trap's face is slimming up? You're getting,
Say that again.
You're losing some weight there, bud.
Yeah, man. 23 pounds.
All right,
now.
so guys, we're back up on YouTube.
Sideshow's here.
We've only got 13 people watching us at the moment, and yes, I do see that he's here. I just don't. We'll wait for a few more people to come up. So if we want to just keep on talking till we get some people in here, we can just keep talking about what we were talking about. I don't know I have no idea what the issue is. I've never ever experienced that before at all. I'm trying to get a chat up here so that we can at least display chats one way while I work on the other way. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yep, there we go.
No, Joe said it died again. What?
No, it did. Just died.
Yep. Yeah.
Really? What the hell's going on? Jeff broke YouTube. Yeah.
I didn't break YouTube. I mean, I got a lot of. I've got a lot of.
Let me go. I'm going to get up from here, guys, and I'm going to walk into the other room where the actual router sits and take a look to make sure. But my remote software says everything is fine. I have no idea what the problem is. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go do that.
It's still streaming on my side, on YouTube.
Yeah, I lost it on the tablet, but I have it on the computer.
Yep, you guys.
So it looks like John's talking, but you can't hear him.
Don't we love technology, everybody?
So somebody's got him muted.
I'm not. I haven't really said much. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right.
Nope, John, you're in and out.
So John, can you see the chats now?
I can see chats. Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
No, they're all just laughing at us
No
and
questions.
talking to Chris.
That's normal.
Ken's
Chris
Martin
is
broke
Phil.
the internet. There it is. That's great, JR.
Good morning.
I mean, if Sideshow can stream us, everybody else should be able to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right?
This is absolutely true.
Let's see what kind of conspiracy theory we're going to get on this one.
Oh God.
Hopefully, Patty Mahomes can put a drive together here.
Well, if he does, it's got to involve Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
That would be fantastic.
Because he's been shit this season.
Well, let's get a touchdown for good old Taylor Kelsey and
In America.
America. Yeah.
How's it going, hon?
I'm doing good, Craig. How are you?
You're my other hon.
I know.
So Kathy has. So who does she have playing tomorrow? She has yet to play who? Oh,
Tyler
Tyler
Lockett.
Lockett. Oh, you're in deep shit. He's going to get 7 points.
I'm up 12. Mathematics, John.
No, 125 to 137. Oh, yeah, it's 12. I'm sorry. I was thinking 132. He'll get 12 points.
Probably. I mean, McCaffrey put up 45. Every time I looked at the screen, he was scoring another touchdown.
God.
Somebody needs to stop him. This is
Ken,
gonna
are
turn
you the
into a-
long lost brother of Toby Keith?
What's that?
Are you the long lost brother of Toby Keith?
Oh, there ain't no telling, man. Them Keiths got around, dude. There ain't no telling. My dad had the great story about my dad played piano for Hank Williams Jr. for about 13
Oh, wow.
years. And so I've known Hank since I was about 5 years old. But anyway, Hank kept saying, "How old are you?" And hey, I'm 15. Well, when you get 18, you're going to work for me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm working at the same time my father's playing piano. And so me and my father roomed together. So this is how crazy that life is. So I go in to my room to get something, and my father is getting sucked, mid-suck, man, by some hooker. And I'm going to tell you something. That look on my father's face is still implanted in his brain, man. He's like, hey.
Oh, my God.
We're live on YouTube right now. This is great.
And we are absolutely live.
Dinner and a show.
And that's why the screen crashed.
That's a great story.
This is gonna be
Oh
a
man,
crap
I could write a book about Hank Jr. and keep all the bad stuff out. I know for the first 6-8 months, man, they didn't do nothing around me. Hank almost didn't want me out there because I knew every wife, every kid, I knew everybody he knew, right? And they were good boys and girls around me until that my father's story got out, and then they thought, well, hell, he must not have told on his old man because we ain't had no fallback out of it. So he must have kept his mouth shut like he promised Hank. And after that, every one of them, every night, just like you think, and then some. And all I could think of, them poor wives, man. Them poor wives, jeez, man. But I got so many stories. I need a ghostwriter. Is what I need. I'll tell you this one real quick, and then because I could go forever. I could do a Hank Jr. show right here. But anyway, he bought a big Ford pickup truck and a Mercedes on the same day. Okay. He calls my father up and he goes, "Hey, Warren, let's go dove hunting and bring that fat kid of yours with you." That was me.
right.
And so we go out. We're in his Mercedes. It's like North Dallas 40. You know, you're coming out windows, you're on the hood and all that, and you're going bam, bam, bam through the cornfields. And I'm like 9, maybe 10. I said, "Hey, why are you bringing this nice car?" He said, "I don't want to screw up my truck." So he tore
Oh
up
my
the
gosh.
Mercedes. Did his truck.
All right, guys, we're back live, and we're live on YouTube. So, Ken, 4 or 5 people here said they're enjoying your stories. But I think we better get back on track here before somebody says something before something else happens. Guys, I have no idea what has taken place here. YouTube will not let me stream. I had everybody sitting here from Zoom the entire time. They've been talking football and country music stars and a couple F words that flew out there, and well, it is what it is, guys. So we're back on. We're going to continue with the show. We've got 20 of the 50 people that were originally there. Maybe we probably should cut the show short, just let everybody know that I have no idea what happened. I've never had that happen before at all. And anyway, let's go on with the show. I don't even know where we left off. Does anybody remember where we left off at?
I don't. We're talking about bankroll and buy-ins. The last question I remember you had.
Yeah.
We're passing
I
the
think
dice.
we're going to move on to a new question.
Yeah, why don't we move on to the new question? I'm going to skip that. Let's see here. Has anyone ever John? John, let's go on and talk about what's coming up in 40 days, and maybe we'll have to call the show here. But here's a question that came in from Mike the Bears. John, with only a few more Craps Chat before Craps for the Cure next month, is there any updates? The F1 Shore is messing up the strip. And as we said earlier, Ian put in there that we had what 40? I think it was 40 days. Yeah, even put in there that we had 40 days. So go ahead and give us an update on the Craps for the Cure. And we're probably going to have to call the show with that today. Yeah. And I'm not even going to attempt to try to have an after show.
Yeah, the thing with the F1 is what it is, right? The thing I look at it is it's the right weekend. It's before F1, and we're seeing actually some prices come down on some of the rooms out there. Yeah, traffic's going to be not great, but if you're on the strip, you can walk. You can walk very easily, or take the tram car to the mall where we're going to be. So if you're at Treasure Island or Caesars or Harrah's or anywhere in that general vicinity, the walk to the Fashion Show Mall for the actual event is going to be simple. Uber's not going to be involved for most people. So that's what I'm recommending folks do. Got a lot of people that are coming. Buckeye Slim just wrote me. He's on his way out there. A lot of folks are going to be there. So most of the guests that I've got targeted, besides, the obvious, Jeff and some others that are in our group, are going to be Vegas locals who can get there. So it's going to be a great lineup. I mean, we're talking about getting Bo Parker and, some of the other, people you've heard of from Vegas. I'm working on a couple other icons to be there in person with us too. So it should be a good event, I think. And I think the fact that it's 2 days, not one full 24 hours, will make it even better. I mean, it's more to come. I have all week every morning this week. I'm just working for the next 40 days, basically trying to get everybody lined up and get the schedule done. I'll have the website done this week where you can sign up, register. If you can't come out, you can donate through the website. I'm going to have all that stuff hooked into YouTube so that every YouTube super chat during the show will go to the right charity. I'm going to have the charity folks from Bets Moving Forward on with me to film a spot so we can understand what it is they do. But I'll tell you right now, and I'll say it again tomorrow morning and every day that's coming up. The goal for this one is going to be a big goal. We did, I think, $6,000 the first year. We did 16 and change last year for cancer. This year's goal is $50K. So we're going to push hard this year, really, really hard. And the reason for that is because we know from Vets Moving Forward that it takes $50,000 to buy, train, raise, and deliver one dog to one vet. That's about what it costs. Right, thereabouts, because dogs can cost different amounts, but it takes 2 years to train a dog, and then it takes a year of working with the vet to bond the dog with the vet. So it's a 3-year process to get a dog into a vet's house. But they're specifically trained to handle post-traumatic stress in vets. And in talking to her, I learned so much about this. Like, every vet's got a different trigger, and the dogs are kind of tuned into that, and it's an amazing process. It's very expensive. And I would love for this community to be able to say, we put one dog in a house. That'd be freaking amazing. So that's my goal. And so the auction items that we've got so far, obviously you got my bobbleheads, you got my old felt. Jacob's putting his old felt up. I think he's agreed. We have a lot of cool things. Dice Doctor Dan, of course, has got the chip racks. There's a lot of stuff happening. Now that I'm a host with Premier, I have a little bit of access, not a lot, but a little bit of access to the casino staff. So I can get in and get some, like, they've got rooms full of crap, like chandeliers and random shit in these back rooms at the casinos that we can get for auctioning off. Like some old signage, that kind of stuff we can get from the casinos. And we have all the seats in Olive Station that I can get stuff from. So we're going to work to get some actual cool memorabilia from there. I've also got from Crystal, Chiro last year remember he bid on those cards that David had? He had an unopened set of I think it's 12 packs of cards or whatever it was that were from the Stratosphere when it was still called the Stratosphere. And they were unopened, unpunched, never touched casino cards. And he bought those at the auction last year. Crystal gave them to me and said, I want you to re-auction them off. So they were in his possession. We've got those. I've got, like Jeff said, all these dice that she had hand painted that we can give away. Some of these I have earmarked for certain. Like I'm going to give a set of these to Chris Sideshow. I'm going to save one for him because they were such good friends. I think he should have one of these. But yeah, I mean that's the plan. The plan is to raise a whole pile of money and have a whole lot of fun and do our thing. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's like I said, it's Veterans Day. It's the right weekend. It's going to be a pain in the ass because traffic is going to suck. But if we're all staying on the strip and playing on the strip and not trying to take over Vegas like we did, in years past, and just do our thing right there, it's going to be pretty easy.
All right.
That's the plan. It's going to be fun.
Well, out of everybody that's here, I'm coming in on Thursday, and I'm leaving on Monday morning. Chris, I know that you're probably, I think we've talked that you're doing the same thing.
John, I need you to extend my room one more night.
Hey, yeah, that's right, John. He needs you to extend. You checked him out on the wrong day. You need to extend his stay one more day.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, Craig, you're going. You're going out there, correct?
Yeah, I'll be there 9th through the 14th.
All right. Adam, are you going, or you're not going to be out there because you're working?
I'm working. We have school in session, but I do know that Brian is going out.
Okay, that'd be nice to see Brian. I haven't seen him in a couple months. Leon, you're muted and no audio. I didn't know. I think you and I talked about this, that you are going to the Craps for the Cure.
Yeah, the plan is definitely to go.
All right. Mark, no video, but your audio looks like it's on. I don't know that you and I talked about that. We'll see if he pops back in here or not. And Ken, are you planning on attending?
I can't. Now I'm trying to get John to do a Biloxi trip next spring, where Wayland is.
I'm in.
I want to go down Jen. I'd have fun with that.
All right.
But I can't. Yeah. I can't go.
Yeah, I'll be going back to the Biloxi area hopefully sometime between January and the end of March next year. That's my plan to head back to the Biloxi area. I see a question here. I don't see what you're asking here, John, because I'm kind of all messed up with the new stream.
Sideshow asked a question, which is great.
Oh, the one about I did cue that up. You talking about the craps enthusiast question?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and hit that question. It's coming up on 11 o'clock, the 2-hour mark, and since I had to reset the stream, I'm backwards on what I'm doing here. It's kind of difficult for me to continue the show. Let's put that up there. We'll call this the last question of the night. As craps players and enthusiasts, what have you improved on personally over the last year? Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
All right, go, Craig.
Over the last year, I can say that my patience has been better. My betting, my craps awareness has gotten better. So approaching a table, if something doesn't feel right, I'll go to another part of the table. Depending on how things are rolling, I may switch up. I'm more comfortable switching up, going light, dark, hybrid now than a year ago, and just having better wherewithal for the game itself has really improved. I probably try to do what most people who first learn the game and get into this community is they try out strategies, and I just realized that's not for me. I started clinging on to Ed Roll the Win for a while because I think he plays what's rolling, and that really got me into playing what's rolling. I like that more. To me, that's just personal for me. It gives me a better chance of increasing the bets more frequently by playing what's rolling than trying to cover everything and hope you hit everything,
All right. Adam.
Well, over the last year, what have I learned? I've only been playing craps as an enthusiast or a lot since about last October, and I think I met you in December, right? We had the
yes.
We had the 5 times Mac AC trip thing going on.
Christmas holiday, Christmas
Yep.
week after New Year's week.
And you really saw, I think, I don't know, you really saw how betting the number that hits is important, and you go out with, even if you're a low roller or whatever, what I like to do is I don't play the point. It's very rare that I play the point on, the pass line on some other shooter. But what I do is, let's say I go $15 table, I go 51 inside, right? Or 48, give or take. And then I play those numbers. After you hit the point, then I might get a fourth number, a fifth number, et cetera, and so on. But over the last year, I've really learned to press beyond probably like that, $90, $100, and how to make money after that. So that's what I've done over the last year.
All right. Let's go to Chris Dystegen.
I think over the past year, my shooting has gotten better because I've been practicing more and like actually practicing and understanding what I'm doing and what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, and being able to be repetitive with the right things and analyzing kind of what's going on. Again, not saying I'm a DI or anything, but I'm able to see what my dice are doing, which helps me to bet better on myself. Table obviously helps. And then I think I've gotten better at betting on other people as well. Just, getting out of the hand quickly and being able to press. I was always kind of adverse to pressing super high. I didn't like having a lot of money out there on the table, but I kind of got over that. And now I'm much better at like getting the money out there, getting it up, still collecting, but able to actually get my bets up there to where I'm getting paid nice money for some bets out there.
All right. Ryan, you're relatively new to the game, I believe, too. What have you seen your improvement in your game recently?
Yeah, so honestly, I think it's all started, kind of we actually learning how to deal, understanding what payouts are, understanding how they pay out, knowing when you're in the hand and how much you're in the hand and how much you're actually getting back into your rack. A lot of people don't know. They'll just collect the money out from the dealer. They don't really know what their money coming back into the rack is. So learning really first time ever dealing, actually kind of learned it on the fly. I've been playing craps for a long time. I know strategies. I knew the concept of craps, but actually knowing the payouts is huge, huge to learning the craps game, because then now again you know how much you have on the table. Knowing how much is coming into your rack helps you understand when you're even, because a lot of people don't manage their rack. A lot of people they'll just gather it all together, and they don't split it up between how much they started with, how much they're in profit or down. They just throw it into the rack. They don't have a concept of where they're really at. So that's one thing I've really learned this past year. Getting a table, learning how to deal, learning how to play in a more detailed level of betting and collecting.
All right. Let's see. We did Craig, Chris, Adam, Leon.
Just overall discipline and learning the game, being more conservative. When I first started out, I would try to play a strategy and then finally quickly go on tilt. So I think now I'm much more conservative, more disciplined in my play. And like he just said, knowing payouts better, understanding the bets, just overall knowledge of the game has improved quite a bit over the last year. I know I've been on before and said I'm not a big fan of Crapsy because I don't like the electronic aspect of it and not actually handling chips with your hands. And I think that's a big part of needing to, if you're going to play at a real table, you need to do that. But I've gotten comfortable enough to the point now where I am playing Craftsy, and I just started maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, and not too worried anymore about losing brain cells because I'm playing electronically versus real chips on an actual practice table. So.
All right, John, you're a longtime craps player, an enthusiast and a player. What have you changed, improved, or I'm saving myself for last because probably nobody's going to like what I have to say.
I think to answer what I think the spirit of Chris's question is this. So from running the channel, especially the last year or so, I've changed as a human, I think, right? I think I used to be super binary, like black and white, like you're fucking wrong and I'm fucking right, and that's it, right? And that's always was that way. Looking to pick a fight with anybody in the comment section, my earlier videos, look back at the comments, and I'm arguing with people, and especially, PJ and some others that you all know about. I have learned, the more I teach the game, I've had it, like, I've always known the math of it, but I've had to really be able to, like, dig into how the math works so I could explain it better and teach it better. And that's made me have to open my eyes and be a little more accepting of other opinions. So there are still things that I'm rigid on, as you can well imagine. But overall, I've gotten way better at going, okay, I'll examine that. And like I said, I'm playing the Molly, which it's a strategy I don't enjoy, don't like, but the math supports it. And I've argued with people about playing that, but I'm playing it, and I'm finding that I'm winning with it. And it's like, hey, it's okay to win this other way that you don't like. And that's what I'm discovering, that I'm you can call it softening, but it's more about being a little bit better at hearing other opinions and better at explaining things or breaking things down. And because of that, when I'm at a table now, I can overcompute sometimes, but I'm also so comfortable with the payouts and what's going on. Like, it's just having to do this every day for you all. It's like you get so much more comfortable with just what's happening. Everything is second nature now. So I can actually use my head, and that's what I've gotten better at. And I think, our relationships here have all grown because for me to you personally, it's like I've gotten better at not being such a hardliner on a lot of things. I know Ed and some of the others are like, you're a hardliner on trends and crap lists and stuff. But yeah, some things. But I'm hearing things that I never used to hear.
All right.
And I think it's bled into my life too. I think my life as a whole now, I'm hearing things that I never used to want to hear and talk about. And I think it's because we have to, right? As channel ops, we have to do that with our audience. And I think, how else can you earn friends and playing partners at this age that we're at, and logistically where we are, and if you're not going to do that, nobody want to hang out and play if you're going to be a complete asshole, right? So I've learned how to like be rigid in my thoughts, but open in my actions. And I think that's a big thing, and it's changed how I play at the tables in a lot of ways.
All right, Dylan, I'm saving myself for last on this one. What do you think that you've done? I know that you've had some difficulties this past year, and your illness that you went through. Anything at all?
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of Crapsy, and it's helped me to grow in ways that I didn't expect, and one of the ways that I think that I've expanded my horizons is that Crapsy you can do. I like playing with other with George at CY and anywhere that I can find a live Crapsy table, that I really enjoy that because it engages my mind, and I can try out different things and with different table amounts, with different bankrolls, say 5,000 or 15,000 or whatever the host lets you have, then it lets me stretch my betting capabilities of what I can try for and adjust to, and so that it gets me out of my comfort zone. If I was playing at a lower level from 1,000 to 2,000 at a real casino, If I have 5,000 or 15,000 or whatever, then I can try different things and see and experiment. And that experimentation is once again is allowing me to stretch my growth pattern, where I can test different things and see, well, hey, that does work, and I can then scale that up and down again to whatever I need to when I get back to the real tables. So it does broaden your horizon a little bit, or it's broadened my horizon a little bit. So that's one thing that I'm kind of grateful and that I've kind of learned that the Crapsy can stretch your comfort zone, and to me that's a good thing.
All right. I'll go ahead and wrap this up because nobody's going to want to hear what I have to say about it, because my game has changed so much in the past year and a half to 2 years, and I have to credit a lot of people for it, because I was tunnel vision on the way the casino wanted you to play, what they thought you wanted to play, regardless of how many books you read, how many YouTube videos you watch, how much money you lose in the process of watching YouTube videos and reading books and trying things that I think JR just put something up here about fallacies. I think it was him, but he also put something up there about the trends, and I don't want to get into trend betting versus variances versus strategies. But I think I want to first of all say something along the lines that John said. I've grown from my YouTube channel of not just a better knowledge of the game, but a better sense of community, a better sense of people you play with, the people that I've met. I thoroughly have enjoyed meeting these people along the way, and the people that I've helped, as John has, to get up and running. And here tonight I have an technical issue that I have never seen in my life before with YouTube. And I tried all kinds of things to make it work, and we're back on. But from my standpoint, I have to tend to agree with Craig from Old Bay, and I know that I'm going to go ahead and put this one up here about let's see if I can find it here. This one I totally disagree with JR. It talks about the flaw with trends is that you're looking back and you're not looking trapped into the present and the future. It's actually the opposite if you play the game that way, and you look at the shooter and you look at what's hitting, what your dominant numbers are, and it's just come to light to me that putting 66 out there, no disrespect, skill, putting 66 out there and pressing, half collecting, pressing, or whatever you're doing and spreading out is just not the way to go, because the average roll is that what the average roll is. But if you're going to get four fives in a hand that you don't have a 5 bet out there, it just seems ridiculous. And from a dice setting standpoint, from what Chris said, I feel more comfortable with my throw. I don't call myself a dice influencer. I don't call myself a dice controller, but I can read the dice and what's happening. I can try to correct it. But from a standpoint of playing this game, I'm going to say it. Strategies and craps are about what they're written down on a piece of paper are worth, because if that strategy is not working and you're stuck in time, just like trend betting, if you want to say that, JR, if you're stuck in time on a strategy that's not paying off, you lose. And that's what I was doing 2.5 years ago. I was losing. My wins are much, much bigger these days. My losses have been bigger, but my losses that I would consistently lose every single time I went to the casino has stopped. And it's because of the way that I bet now. It's because of the confidence I have in reading other people that are throwing the dice and when to bet on a random, or when to just put the 6 and 8 out there and wait for this person that had a nice roll last time. I just think that's picking a strategy and sticking to it is good discipline. Ryan said it earlier about the bankroll management, and there's several good videos out there on YouTube about bankroll management. I just think that I've become a better player because, as Adam said, I can invest more money on numbers I know they're going to have a greater return because the shooter is hitting them. Sure, do I lose? Yeah, I do. I had a good weekend this weekend. Previous 2 times I lost, and I readjusted what I was thinking I was doing this week, and it came to it. But to sit there and say that you're going to play, Santa Claus strategy the entire 3-hour session that you're there and expect to win with that strategy, I just think is BS. And now that I've said that, you guys can fuss at me because I am the host here, and I know what John preaches each and every day on his show. I know what everybody, the other 230 channels of YouTube are out there doing. They're talking about this strategy and that strategy and the latest strategy, and face it, guys. It's your money. It's your bet. Do what you want to do. Do it the best way you can. And if you're constantly losing, stop playing the damn game because it's not the dice. It's not the bets. It's not the person. It's you. That's what I found different with me is my wins are bigger. My losses have been bigger, but they're nowhere near what they were in totality throughout the time period. Now I'm off my high horse, guys. Anybody want to rebut that? Anybody? I'm taking it. I got big shoulders. Nobody. Come on, chat. Somebody in chat's got to fuss at me. Nobody.
Yeah. The problem is you never go $35 on the 4 or 10. And Chris and I can both tell you the best play, 35 on the 4 and 10. Flip it to 100.
You did not read this weekend. I got paid twice in a hand that had 8 tens, Adam. 8 tens in one hand, and I got paid $600 twice in that hand.
I mean,
you should have got paid $2,000.
No, I didn't. I know that, Chris. But what Adam's saying is I don't normally put 35 on there.
You should have been at table max on hit number 5.
Nope. So, but I appreciate that. I knew somebody's going to say something. The question was, what do you feel better about yourself? And that's it.
If I see Jeff play the flip in person, I will stop playing craps for the rest of my life.
If you what?
I'm
sorry.
I would love to see it just once. Just once.
Well, Chris, don't get me on the part about, how many people know about the flip and what it can work. That the 8 tens in a hand was spread out across it. And I was happy getting paid $600 twice on that hand that wound up winning me almost $3,600 in that hand. So I was happy with what I was winning. So that's my comfortability. I didn't want to make $2,000. I would have loved to make $2,000. I just don't think that my comfortability would have never been there in the first place. I would have never had $50 more than $50 or $100 on that 10 at all. So there it shows you that I had $300 on it and to get paid on it. All right.
Leon's got a great point in the chat. I'm looking at Leon's chat. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, John.
I would say Leon made a great point in chat. He said strategies are good for when you want structure, right? So a strategy like the 66 or whatever you're going to do is great to give you early structure. This is what I preach all the time. Give you early structure. Do a thing when you don't, if there's such a thing as a trend or a variant, whatever you want to call it, you don't know what's rolling yet. So in the time where you're figuring that out, either you're A, not betting, or B, betting something small, structured, and planned so that you can then bet freely with what you see coming, right? That's the whole point of it, right? So I think I'm always, my 3 phase, I always talk about this. And that early phase is just get me to a point where I can start playing a game. Like the early strategy is just to get me to play the game, right? And that's, I think, where I think a lot of people confuse strategy play with trend betting, which is really trend betting is no more than pressing what's happening, right? It's not like it's rocket science, but starting out there is very hard, and most bankrolls don't support it. And that's why a lot of what we focus on is this early safety net, a little bit of a don't maybe. You can go trend betting and have a don't as your kind of your anchor for a minute while you're figuring that stuff out. Just be safe early. That's all I want. I want people to be safe early, protect yourself, and then when it happens and you can figure it out, and whatever that means to you, figure it out, right? Whatever your way of sussing it out. That's the whole thing. It's all about discipline. And I think all of us have gotten better at that over the years, for sure.
You said what I was going to say, John. You said it was a starting point. I called that discipline. If you want to start with that, a fixed bankroll, somebody that's a low buy-in, that's it. What I found out, and he's not been on the show tonight, one of them has, one of them hasn't, they've been in the chat, is that you bet bigger and you regress. You regress before that number, that magical number that turns the game over to the next shooter. The average rolls, and that has been working for me. And if it turns into a long roll, when I regress, I'm going right back up. So, I don't consider that a strategy, but you can call it what you want.
It is, but you know what? But Jeff, honestly, $120, $620, 8, you get one of them, you're down. Then you can do what you want to, right? That is a strategy. To me, that is a strategy. Let's bet on 2 numbers. Let's bet them big. Let's take the big payout and let's go bet small and work that table like a bitch. That's a strategy. And I know Ed will say that's not a strategy. It absolutely is. And it's a smart one. If your bankroll supports it, that's a smart way to play, right?
Well, I think if you do that consistently over and over, it would be a strategy. But you change it up. We can sit here and talk about this all night. But they ask what my improvement. I just feel this that I'm a better player because I changed I was tunnel vision, John. I'm looking at this and playing the way that a book said play, or I see somebody else at the table play, and or the casinos want you to play that way. And spread out. You get all the numbers. I don't need to spread out to get all the numbers. Like you said, 120 hit on the 6 at 140, come down, and then do your 66 or 76 or 96 across, whatever you wanted to do. Call it a strategy. Okay, I'll agree with you, but that's not what I don't do that. Every routine after every move after every shooter is not always going to be the same.
I will say
what
John and you, Jeff, have always said is get out of the hand, and I've learned that in the last year is what's the quickest way to get out of the hand and then start pressing. I know that some people do a little bit different. That if I have a 18, 6 and 8, they'll automatically throw 3 in, either take the 6 and 8 up together or take one of the numbers up to 42. But to be out of the hand in 1 or 2 hits is a great feeling. To then be able to do what you really want to do, which is shoot it up high as you can.
Well, true. And I put up here what Leon just said. When does a strategy become a system? And that's a good point. And then we'll put up Clay. And Clay, I've seen do this for 3 years now. 154, 2 hits down, 110 up from there. And John, we could call that a strategy. You're going to go 154 inside, 35, 5 and 9, 42, 6 and 8, 1 hit, or 2 hits. You're going to collect 50 for 2. So you got $100, $98 there to go, and go 110, invest the extra $11. And is that a system? Is that a strategy? I don't know. But at some point, to continue to go up and never look back and not regress, I think that's where players get difference, because that's my comfortability with what Adam was saying a little while ago. I was comfortable with 300 on the 10, like JR said, it's a $12,000 hand. It may have been a $12,000 hand. I was comfortable with 300 on the 10, and I was happy to collect $600. My buy-in was $600, and although the session was over with, I only cashed out $2,500 because I was up higher than that. But it made it to lend it to a good session.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it could be dependent on are you making money or not, right? If you're constantly losing, then constantly going up on your bets isn't the right thing. Maybe it's just playing out minimum bets until the table turns.
That's what I'm saying. We've heard so many people say before, Ryan, and John was one of them, that you're gonna go with $1,000. It gives you $100 to bet on 10 shooters. Correct, John? Isn't that how you kind of look at things from time to time? So if you're going to do 66 a shooter, and you go out, and in Clay's case, let's say he's going to do 110 a shooter because he's doing 154, and he gets there, if you continue to lose, you're going to stop sticking that 154 out there every freaking time.
That's right. Mm-hmm. But then at that point in time, it's not a strategy or system. You're just stupid. I mean, quit throwing it out there, right?
No, it's a strategy. You're just stupid for continuing to play it.
You're just getting burned by it, yeah.
Well, is it a strategy or is it a system? What's
I
the
don't
difference?
agree with that. So when I play crapless, I go 105, right? Because you have to pay the bigs up front in Virginia, Maryland area on the East Coast. I go 100 outside on the extreme outside. I don't care if I lose, 5 shooters in a row, because on that 6th shooter, when he throws 3 aces or 3 12s or 5 horns total, I'm $500 in profit. I mean, that's why you bring the people say, hey, you have to bring 10 times your bet, right, for 10 shooters or whatever. I mean, that's what everybody preaches. And to sit here and say that, somebody's stupid because they went 5 times in a row and lost $154, it contradicts what you guys are saying.
So I disagree with the 10 shooters theory. I think you need to do the math on your strategy, and like you just said, if you lose 5 times in a row or whatever, you need to find that break point where is the strategy you're playing going to cost you in the long run, and are you okay with that or not? If you're not, then you need to go less, maybe.
No, No, I would tend to agree with that. I like what Jeremy has up there about Monday morning quarterbacking, like we're doing now about craps, and some of you guys are still talking about football in the chat. But I like what you said. When does a strategy become a system, or vice versa? I just think that with me, I was tunnel vision, and now my broadened side of the light sided play has changed drastically, Leon, and my wins have grown. Sure, I'd like to have a $12,000 hand like Jr. just said, but I'm happy with what I had there. But what I invest on every shooter is the same. It's absolutely not. It absolutely is not the same. It's not 110 every time inside. It's not the 6 and 8. It varies as I go around the table and play, and I don't go in to play 10 shooters, and I used to have a win goal. I don't have a win goal anymore. I play until I feel like my session, the question that was asked earlier, my session is over with. Yep.
That's more like that's more like a freestyle of play. It's really just freestyle.
It may be freestyle, but the three great craps players that I've talked to this past 2 years, and I don't want to mention their names. 2 of them have been here tonight. One of them is not here. Out early, bigger, and regression. Long hand, you can go right back up. And that has turned my game around drastically. Hybrid system, Leon, I played hybrid for years and broke even with small wins. I was happy with a $200 or $300 win in a session because I wasn't losing. But when I first started playing craps, it was just loss because I was playing the casino's way. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about craps chat or craps, and all the channels that are out there are preaching something. Just some of them have way too much damn snake oil out there. It's just bull crap on a lot of them. And I commend the channels that are trying to do the right thing and call it during their videos that's that way. But to sit here and think that I'm going to play 66, no disrespect, skill, that I'm going to play 66 inside and press to 88 and then come back down to 44 and work my way up, that's the skill 66. I'm not going to do that every single time. Just not. That's just me. My game's changed.
Yeah, but I don't subscribe to that philosophy for every shooter. I mean, you do have to know you have to you're supposed to be able to chart your shooters and know what's going on, and who's you're supposed to be able to tell who's random, who's not, and all. There's a you can't just do everything. You can't do the same thing repetitively over and over and over for every person. It's not going to work. That was never designed. The skill 66 is not designed for that. So that's you can't live and die on that sword, because you will die on that sword. I agree 1,000% with you, Jeff. So I completely agree with you.
Well, it sounds like we've satisfied some people in chat because we finally got talking about some crap stuff. So maybe we'll every time we get a little bit of distension in the conversation here, it seems to be a good show because this show early on was wasn't specifically a lot about craps theory, craps knowledge, a way to play craps. How does somebody do this? And that's what we should be discussing on this show. I think that everybody's point, and I don't disagree. I like what Leon said. Strategy system, okay, whichever. You hear me say it a million times. I'll play a dark-sided strategy, the horseman. I'll play a hybrid system. But when it comes to light-sided play, I'm gonna freestyle. There you go. Whoever said freestyle, I don't know which one of you said that, whether it was you, Dylan, or whether it was Leon. But anyway, I think we killed that one. Yeah. If anybody else got any more comments about play, let's go ahead and get that out here. And we'll get done. I'm trying to see if we had another.
Hey Jeff, I just had one comment. As long as you're comfortable, right, and you can afford or whatever, it's your money. You get to do what you want with your money. And for somebody to sit here, or somebody to tell you, hey, your play isn't valid, or you're doing something stupid, or that's just dumb. Well, in the long run, as long as you're happy and you're doing the things that you want to do, and hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, nobody else should tell you, any negative comments towards it.
All right, Chris, I saw your comment. I'm glad you're able to stop by. I know you got work in the morning. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, Chris. Appreciate it. All right. No, Adam, I think that's the point that, and I've told you this, Adam. You see me walk up to people at the table and I'll say, hey, what strategy were you just playing? And I've been keeping track of them. And 99.9% of the people I ask at the table, they don't have a strategy. They're playing their way. Then my next question is, do you ever watch YouTube? Yeah, I watch some of those things and I see some of the strategies, but they don't work for me. Well, have you ever tried one? The answer typically is 50-50. I tried it, it didn't work, or no, I haven't tried it. So, we're all out here. Even I did it on my YouTube channel early on, was show a strategy and play a strategy, and people really aren't playing specifically strategies. It's less than 1% of people that I've talked to, and it's over 1,000 of them in the 2 years I've been taking this survey. It's for my book. Get ready to sign up. I'll have a book signing sometime. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. That they don't play strategies. They don't play a strategy that they see. They play something that they've come across, something that they may have read in a professional book, which really screwed me when I was out there and read a lot of these books that you see people hold up, and it just it's freestyle. I don't know who said freestyle. I don't know if it was Dylan or Leon. Somebody said freestyle.
Yeah. I think the average player doesn't delve in as much as we all do, as much as this community and people watching right now. I think the average player is just there to play, and they may dabble a little bit, figuring it out as they go. But the average player isn't, unless they are a all the time player. They don't have a system. They're not using a strategy. They're just playing. And you can really tell, especially newer players. You can really tell, just like you said, you can tell that they don't. I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing, because they can understand the bets and everything, but they don't. They're still trying to just figure it out, and they haven't hit the point where they want to use a strategy or look more into it. They're just happy playing, and if that's what makes them happy, fine, cool, that's fine, good for them.
Yep. All right. We're going to end this comment up here. I like what JR just said. He said stretch play. I've never heard it called that. Oops. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Stretch play, place bets, in rotation with eligible shooter, pass line progress. I think I understand what he's trying to say there. And I typically don't like people that say pass line, max odds, comeback, max odds is the only way to play. It's the only way to lose, too. But I like that stretch play. I don't know what way you mean that. I don't know if John's microphone's working. He talks to him much more than I do. But do you understand what he means by stretch play? I can't hear you, John. I don't know if anybody, but I like that terminology. I don't know that I'm saying it in the same way that he is that he's meaning it. But I like it. I just don't believe pass line, max odd, comebacks, max odds is the only way to play a light-sided play. I've seen so many max bets this past weekend come off the table on the third roll that it's just incredible because the red came out. All right. Hopefully John can get his audio back. John's more the professor. Yeah. I don't have your audio line level coming in, John. Anyway, so we've dropped a couple people
Jeff.
off here, guys. Yes, go ahead, Adam, because we're getting ready to call the show, I think, unless John gets his mic back. Give him a couple seconds to talk about that, because I think he understands. John can word it better than I just did, because he's the professor.
What I was going to say was,
yeah, give me 1 second, John. You're back. Go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say, when you walk by an empty table in the casino, what does the dealer say to you? Hey, why don't you come and play some craps, right? And they tell you how to play. Well, I don't know how to play craps, And they're like, oh, it's easy. All you do is you put down a pass line, you put some odds behind it, and you throw the dice down to the end of the table. The casinos teach you to a novice player to play pass line with odds. I mean, because it's the basic play.
Right. Okay. John, your audio was back. Go ahead.
Yay. Yeah, I missed a bunch, I'm sure. I couldn't hear nothing, but that's not a bad play. I think what I've seen over the last, and I don't like the Molly as a way to play. To me, it's not fun. However, for a new player, not bad. And that would be what I would call a system, because you're playing it forever. You're just mechanically just doing your thing. That works. You saw it on the win craps last week. That thing worked every single time. Like, it was a 90% win rate. It works. It made a bunch of money on a great roll. It does a good job. It's not a offensive way to play. It's not something we should tell people you're dumbass if you play it. It's not just because the cum is the biggest thing, you shouldn't play it because the casino wants you to. It's not a bad way to play. And that's why I was saying earlier about being open-minded to things. I don't like it. It's not enjoyable, but I'm absolutely not going to tell people not to play that way like I used to. Like I used to be very, very against it because I wanted to make my own choices. Ultimately, that thing is done very, very well. And when I put it up against almost any strategy, it either sticks with or outperforms most strategies. Or most
And
ways
that's
of
what you're
playing.
doing.
It just does, you know?
But that's what you do on your show, John. You're not just showing what wins. You're also showing what, damn, we've done this 7 straight days and I can't get but 1 win out of 7. But you're showing people that, and from an educational standpoint, that's great. And from an entertainment standpoint, when you go on your runs of having a strategy that looks good, lose, and typically you beat yourself up like every other YouTuber does when they throw 7 after 7 after 7.
100%.
You know, but it happens on the table. That's real life crap.
Well, the Molly, I have not been able to beat it. I mean, it's only lost twice, and the 2 times that it lost a tiny bit, and I ran out of time. Like that thing, it's strong, and it's like, I don't know. I don't want to poo-poo it as much as I used to. I used to just get, the thing was, I got mad about the Molly because the math guys who say that's the only way to play are so freaking dogmatic about it, and it drove me nuts. Right? When you get dogmatic about things, and I get dogmatic about, you know, the word trend or whatever sometimes, right? It can drive people crazy and it's off-putting. And that's what I used to react about, was not even the way that they played. It was just the way that they presented the way they played. Like everybody else was an asshole.
I like
If you don't play this, you are a dumbass. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. It's like, and I would react to that more so than the actual play. And I think it's easy to do that. Yeah. Very easy to do that.
Yeah. Well, I would
love to have Jeremy come back on because from Color Up and to because he's got the standard. You know, he's calling it the standard. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to get more information on how he's seeing the standard, you know, when it goes up against these different plays that he's doing on his videos. So, you know, that's one thing that I would love to have him come back on the show again and talk about that, because he hasn't had too many videos or he hasn't really given an update on how the standard is doing compared to the others. And I that's something that we should be interested in.
I think he's done 4, right? I think 4 times he's had that not competition, but he's done it 4 times that I know of, I think. Twice the other strategy's gone to 0.
Yeah, I've only seen it twice.
0 twice.
Yeah, I've only seen it twice. I like what Clay puts up here. When somebody has, they're so dead set that this is the only way to play, and it's because it's made me $1 million when I play. I like what Clay says here. It should, hey, you should try playing this. It's worked for me. In my opinion, it's the best way to play. Instead, they drill it, like you said a minute ago, John. They drill it that it's the only way to play, and some people take offense to that.
Right.
So we're going to move on. I promised Leon an opportunity to tell a story that he told that he didn't get a chance to tell last Craps Chat. So let's end this on a good story, Leon. I like what you said. I don't want to give it away. So if everybody would just indulge us for maybe 3 or 4 more minutes, Leon, go ahead and tell the story that when you were, which it is a churro story, I believe, and get back to it.
Yeah. So. My last trip to Vegas, I was there for my wife's thing. She plays roller derby, and there's all these parties every night. The final party is called the Black and Blue Party, and it's black and blue because they've played so much derby at this point. Roller derby is a pretty beat up sport. They're all black and blue, but it's a black and blue ball, and the theme is obviously you wear black or blue, and it's somewhat clothing optional. So it's always a pool party. So the appropriate attire is more like pool attire. But if you've ever been involved with the roller derby community, it's definitely on the edge. And so the outfits get kind of skimpy for this particular party. So I had the opportunity to wear pretty much almost nothing. We'll just go ahead and say last year I went in pasties because the rule for the hotel we were staying at, whether you're male or female, you had to have pasties if you didn't have a shirt on for this particular party. So last year I went in pasties, a blue tie, no shirt, nice shiny blue tie, and some skimpy shorts that I found at Ross the day before that I'm pretty sure were not meant for males. This year, I went a little more conservative at first, and I just wore a pair of blue swim trunks and a t-shirt, and I got there and I was overdressed. So I had gone earlier in the day and bought some brand new. I ran out of underwear, so I bought some brand new underwear, nice 2-pack, and one of them was blue and it was blue themed. So I went back upstairs to the room and I changed into my blue underwear and put on a button-up shirt and went back to the party, and I was more appropriately dressed for the party. But afterwards, after the party was over, I went downstairs in the Grand where we were staying. The party was being held downtown Grand, and actually played at the craps table wearing that outfit in my underwear. So I don't know how many of you can say you played in your underwear in real life, but I can. And then I was pretty, we'll say pretty imbibed at this point. So I asked the pit boss, who I kind of had a rapport with. It was the end of the week. I had a couple of good rolls earlier in the week, like closed the table down at the end of the night, and had a nice banter with her because a couple times I threw the dice off the table, and they have a half table there open most of the time, so she had to go retrieve them, and we bantered back and forth. But I asked, I called her over and asked her after I was done playing. I'm like, I have a weird request for you. We all know about Chiro's shirtlessness, and we've all, I think, been shirtless on this show. And so I said, I want to see if I can take a photo standing at the craps table with no shirt on. And she looked at me like I was crazy, first of all. And then I said, do you watch YouTube? She said, absolutely not, first. And I said, well, do you watch YouTube at all? She said, yeah. I said, do you watch any craps content? She said, well, some, not much. I'm like, so there was this YouTuber. His name was Minmo Yo, and he was famous for being shirtless on a couple of live shows. And he just passed away. And as soon as I said that, she said, hold on. She got it immediately. And she said, let me get back to you. And so she came over. She went and actually called the surveillance and asked surveillance if I could do it. I said, it doesn't have to be. She comes back. She said, does it have to be at a live craps table? I said, no. It can be at the empty one. There's always an empty one closed down over there. Nobody in the background. I kind of get the casino rules about videoing pictures in the casino. I just want the picture standing at a craps table, shirtless, in a real casino. And she called back to surveillance, and they said ultimately no. Wow. But my challenge to everybody is to try and do this. So if you can get it done, awesome, good one for Chiro. And instead, I went back upstairs to the pool and got a nice video. I did a little short, no shirt on, Vegas, Fremont Street, and Circa in the background, and posted that instead as my compilation, I guess you could say. So, yeah, fun time all around. Neat challenge for everybody to take up. We'll see if anybody can do it.
All right.
Hey, just Leon, with that, for the future, ask for forgiveness. Don't ask for permission.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I would have needed a partner in crime, and I was by myself for this. Why are you taking your shirt?
Shirtless forgiveness means you're gonna be going to jail, right? I mean, potentially.
Yeah.
You're gonna be going underground in the casino. I'm not sure I want to be asking for forgiveness on that deal, but that would be.
I was already in my underwear, so I would have literally been shirtless and in my underwear at the table.
With pasties.
Yep. All right, guys, let's go ahead and call the show tonight. Since the technical issues we had, and we've got half the viewers we typically have, we're going to go ahead and call the show. And I know before we get there, go around. I want to let the viewers know before they sign out that we're going to try and do this Craps Chat again. I wanted to do 3 before the Crapsathon. So we're looking at the 15th and the 29th, but it's going to be the 15th for sure. Don't know if it's going to be the 29th of October, which is Halloween time-ish, or if it's going to be that Sunday before Craps Chat. John, have you been talking to people, and are people going to come in that early on the 5th of November, or will you have people in, or do you think that the 5th of November show would be right timing prior to the Craps for the Cure?
Yeah, most folks are coming in the 9th, 10th. For the thing, and we're gonna do a Craps Chat live. I have 2 hours set aside for it at the event.
Okay.
So like a full panel live kind of a thing, you know.
Right. All right. So those are the dates and the times. I'll thank the people that were here on the Zoom meeting that have come and gone, including Ken, who had technical difficulties, and Ryan. Chris was here. There was somebody else that we had in here. I'm forgetting who that was earlier today. But we'll start with Old Bay Craps. And anything that you'd like to add to the show tonight, Craig, or say before we end this show?
As always, I love this show. I love the anticipation of this show. I love promoting this show. It's one of the best. And you guys make it the best. Just hearing all the stories and hearing all your experiences. I really had a lot of fun here. I don't really have anything coming up. I just want to tell the people who may have been wondering where I've been. I have been super busy with work last week, probably averaging 14, 16-hour days. So I did a live earlier today, and I had to. I needed to do something craps worthy. So did a live today and rolled 12 yos. During the session, 8 shooters.
Nice.
But he was definitely, there was a presence, you know. Yeah, I don't have much going on but the Beat Old Bay. I've been telling people I've been trying to do movie strategies. It just hasn't been working out. I'm still doing the morning stuff with the Fall Down with Old Bay, but that's just silly stuff. I really wanted to get back to like a live. An old OBC live and Beat Old Bay every week, but it just hasn't been in the cards. I've postponed Beat Old Bay a couple times, but I do plan on having it tomorrow. I just need to catch up on the recaps. But I'm hoping to be back on a regular schedule of joining some of the live chats during the day. I've been missing those a lot.
All right. Well, thank you. Adam, any final words?
I just want to say thanks to the Craps family. Like I told you, I pretty much first time we ever met. It's real hard, real difficult to make friends as adults for one reason or another. Generally revolves around some sort of activity with kids, right, or whatever. And I appreciate the community and love you all.
All right, thank you, Leon. I know you had the last 5 minutes before Craig, but any final closing here?
Yeah, I'll tell my other story about arriving in Missouri. So after I picked up the Camaro, I went to dinner at a restaurant. It was pretty late at night, and the only restaurant that was still open was like a bar, and they were just serving bar food. Sat down and ordered my food at the bar, ordered just the water, needed to rehydrate from flying, and I asked the bartender, said, hey, do you want a Jack and Coke? And I'm like, it's not a water. She's like, well, I made an extra. Do you want it? And I'm like, well, in that case, sure. And so free Jack and Coke. And then the other bartender comes over like 5 minutes later, and he's like, hey, do you want a Jack and Coke? I'm like, already got the Jack and Coke. It's ready. He's like, no, we made another extra. So 2 Jack and Cokes. Right out of the gate. I would like to think that was Mid-Mo-Yo welcoming me to Missouri.
Wow, that's a nice story. Yeah, I do remember you telling that, but I came up at the end of why you were telling it when you were telling that story and who you were telling it to. But anyway, Dylan, any final words tonight before I go to John?
Well, I wanted to give a small update. I am going to be taking a job, and I'm here. It's a driving job, but it's not here in St. Louis. They're going to want me to temporarily relocate in Florida, and it's yeah, and it's working for Amazon distribution center, and so I'm going to be down there and starting this coming Saturday, the 7th.
No.
So no, and so everything's spinning and spinning and spinning and in a good way, and so so I'm very grateful to the Krebs community for all you guys' love and support and everything like that. So the reason I'm saying this is that I don't know if I can make the next Krebs chat. So on the 5th, you said the 15th?
Yes, 15th is when I would like to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that, but I'll let you know. But I just can't commit to that. So because of that, so I just wanted to give you guys an update of a little bit of what's going on, and it's a good thing. It's a good opportunity, and so I'm excited. It's going back into it. So. Just wanted to say thank you all for to everybody for your love and support, and I appreciate everything that the Craps community has done for me. I really mean that. So thank you all, and I'm here for you all too. So thank you all.
Well, you certainly are most welcome. As this whole show's your idea. You probably couldn't read the chats coming in, but there was at least 10 chats I put up there. People congratulating you and glad that you're getting back to work and that things are from a work standpoint are working for you. So, Dylan, we finally got to meet 2 weeks ago. It's like we knew each other for the entire time, and I was glad I was able to meet you. And you told me you're going back to work, but you didn't tell me that story. So,
this just recently happened. It just recently happened. I haven't had it. It just recently happened, just like maybe 2 days ago. So, this is real recent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I know when I talked to you earlier on the phone tonight, you seemed like you were in a hurry, and I think it was dinner time for both of us. I had just walked in the door. I was just about ready to walk in the door on my way home from Atlantic City. So, congratulations, Dylan. Let's talk tomorrow during the daytime, and I'll give you a call. So we'll keep you there. The thoughts and prayers are still coming back in for you, Dylan, on your next venture, working for the big company of Amazon. So let's head over to John. John, it's like we said in the beginning, 40 days out for the next Craps for the Cure. You've got your daily show. I saw you post them as we were starting the show up earlier tonight. Yeah. So you get the last word.
Yeah. Well, first, congratulations, Dylan. I didn't know. That's freaking awesome. And everybody's got to know, like, they're getting a lot of well wishes in chat, which is awesome. And it's a lot to battle back, man. From, heart problems are no fun to fight back from, and the battle, man, it was pretty real for you for a long time. So I'm stoked that you're getting back at it. And Amazon's a great company. I know people will get mad at Amazon, but they're an awesome company. Congrats. In the realm of thank yous, now that he's here, we can thank Adam publicly, because what the hell for? Well, okay, what for is for the idea, for hooking me up with vets moving forward, like the whole, you know what I mean? Like the Craps for the Cure that we're doing it's all about vets. I love my vets, and I've talked offline a couple times, and I'm like finding the right home, the right charity to make this thing work was a big deal, right? A lot of those veterans charities are bullshit and they're scams. And this one's legit, real, and you hooked me up with them. So I want to thank you for that hookup way back, and now it's happening. So I think that's the best. It's the best, Jerry. It's the best. I'm stoked about that. So that's really cool. I'll give you all more information on the Crapsathon during the week. By the way, I'm doing strategies all week, so stay tuned. Actually not. I'm actually not doing strategies all week. I'm doing this week's shows are going to be, I'm calling it back to basics, because I'm going back to like the 3-unit challenge and the 6-unit challenge, and like ways to play like with a goal in mind. I want to get back to discipline and goals. I'm all about re-simplifying my craps life now, and so to circle back to that whole thing. That's what the show is going to be about this week. Getting into some team play stuff and planning for that big event in November. It's going to be a massive undertaking, and I know already Ian Olson deserves pre-shout out for all the work he's about to have to do. So he knows it. Jeff Donald, thanks for having me on. I love me some Craps Chat. So we can do it every week, and I'd be happy, but I know we can't. So yeah, I'm always just touched to be part of the show. I'm glad you let me do this and hang out with you guys for a couple hours every couple weeks. It's awesome.
Well, it sounds like I think Joe from Craps Master Journey put it in here. It looks like it's Craps Chat with the Professor and the voice. Now we just need to get Marianne and Ginger to come on, and I'll be the skipper. So for anybody that remembers,
that one's kind of a long-legged redhead. I mean, he can be Ginger.
Yeah.
So Jeff, I have a final question.
Yes.
So would you consider the Zoom break, is this all one Craps Chat session, or would you consider them two separate Craps Chat sessions?
Oh, this is two Craps Chat sessions altogether. And here's the reason why. Because it was too long between us getting back up. It had to be every bit of 20 minutes that we weren't up. But I still don't know what happened. I mean, I did all kinds of things. I lowered the stream, thinking that maybe there was something on my side. I lowered the stream quality down. I did all kinds of things to try to get it up. And I didn't do anything different. It just came up. But that's a good question there. I always like to end the show on a pun. And Leon, the picture you just showed me, I sent you a message back. I don't know if you answered it. Do you want me to show it?
Yeah, go ahead. I can tell by the look on your face you were looking at it.
All right, here we go, guys. The audio is going to kill, but I want to be able to turn the audio on when that happens. But here, take a look at this. Let's see if I can get this to come up pretty good there. There.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
Leon just texted me that.
It's too much, man. Too much.
Playing in his underwear. Oh my gosh! Yes, indeedy.
You're a stud.
At least that
Now you
technology
got to
worked,
press
right,
the button,
Leon?
Jeff. That's the way to end the show right there.
Yeah, I am going to end the show right there. All right, guys. There's no after show tonight. We're going on 3 hours of a show, and I told somebody that we weren't going to go more than 2.5, but we had the 20-minute intermission. Let's call it an intermission, Craig, if we could. We'll call that an intermission, and hopefully, I'm going to try to figure out what happened and try to read up, see what took place. Was it me? Was it them? Was it the internet provider? I don't think so. But in any event, guys, I appreciate it. And yes, Joe. It would be the Gilligan's Island Craps Chat show. Oh, he wants to know about surveys, John. That's a good point. Joe asked about the survey for the winner, and I don't know what happened to it. Do you know what the
Holy Roller? Brian won it.
Brian from Holy Roller.
Brian won it away. Yep, Holy Roller is going to be the hard hat.
Okay, well there you go. I don't know if Brian's still here. He hasn't chatted in.
He was like
38%
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Arnell says to you, Leon, he cannot unsee that. I always try to make the show end on some positive note, regardless of how the show was. I'll take credit or the discredit for the show tonight. I did text John a little while ago and told him that the show tonight just didn't seem up to par. Maybe we're not talking golf. What's the sea? It was too many reds coming out too early. I don't know, whatever it is. It wasn't there, and we'll try to do better in the future, guys. This was episode 15 of season 2, so we've been out. The season will end in December, and we'll see what will take place. Guys, for everybody that's been here in the chat, the guys that came back on the second stream, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. For everybody, Dylan, John, and everybody that was on the show here, we'll see you on the 15th. Maybe not with Dylan, but maybe he'll be able to at least join us at some point during the show. We never know. Catch John weekdays. John, let's see, you always say Pacific time. I always say Eastern time. It's 11 and 12 and on my side. So Craps Chat, 2 weeks. John all week. Craig's coming out. I don't know if I'm going to be doing my shows. There's Craps Galore on YouTube, guys. Get out there and enjoy it. Know the difference between the snake oil. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Till next time, guys. As always, be safe. Play smart.